that was how I was talking. I said, no matter what I do on this earth, I'm not going to hellfire. I've served my hellfire.
That's deep thought.
I have served my own hellfire, if there is any. It all started as a joke. I did BSc Political Science.
Okay.
I never thought I was going to end up as a broadcast journalist. But most people who know me growing up know that you hardly even hear me talk.
How are you able to juggle marriage and broadcasting?
I thank God for the kind of man I married. I met him on the job, so he understands the job. I said I am a hustler.
Multitasker. As women, we are multitaskers.
Yes. I remember buying a wristwatch and somebody saw it and liked it.
I sell it.
And the person said, where did you buy it? I said, I sell it.
I sell it. Hello, compliments of the season, and welcome to Conversations with Maria. My guest today is someone you know. She's a journalist, she's a friend, she's a sister. She's in the world of confectionaries, but she's major in baking. Chioma bakes cake. Oh, I said Chioma. Her name is Chioma Okolie. She bakes cake. She can bake me as I'm sitting like this. Chioma does it very well. But the beauty of it is she's a journalist. She's a broadcast journalist. She casts the news. She's a presenter. But aside that, what else does she do? Chioma bakes. That's why she's here to tell us how she juggle between broadcasting and cake making. Trust me, if you eat Chioma's cake, since I tasted that cake, I don't have any other place to go to. It's Chioma do cake for me. It might be quite expensive, but we understand. Hello, join me as I welcome Chioma. See my pretty friend, Oyaroibo. Is it more?
We say you're the hottest.
I hear you, Jay-Z. Hey.
Coming here, I'm even shocked that you have grown-ups and you're still looking like this.
Oh,
okay, mental.
Good to have you on the show. Conversations with Maria. Thank you for always coming.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. So let's hit it rolling. How did you start? Let's start with broadcasting first now. That's okay. So how did you join into broadcasting?
Broadcasting. It all started as a joke. I never did mass communication.
Oh, really?
I didn't read English.
Hey, voila.
I did BSc Political Science.
Okay.
I also did diploma in business administration.
Okay.
So I never thought I was going to end up as a broadcast journalist. But you know how it is in Nigeria. You never can tell where you would end up. You just have to be open. Never say never to anything. So when I finished from school and I went to the hills, we call it the hills, AIT Hills, with a friend. He asked me to escort him to AIT.
Okay, to someone.
Yeah. So when we got there, I met one of the bosses there, and jokingly he asked, would you want to work here? Or rather, he asked me first if I was a staff. I said no, because that place is very big. You know, they have, we call it campus. They had a lot of people who don't even know each other. Sometimes because you get so engrossed with your work that you might not know the person who is in admin department, for instance, you know. So he asked if I was a staff. I said no. I came with someone, and he jokingly asked if I want to work. I said, why not? I'm actually job hunting, but I've not applied here, and it's not my call. And he was like, you can actually start. I said, what? He said, you can start today.
Just like that.
I'm looking out for a PA and you can start. I said, well, but I don't want to be a PA. He said, well, you can start up from there. And that day and that time I started work. My cousin called. She was, where are you? I'm like, I'm at work. She was like, which work?
Which work?
When I left you this morning, you didn't have a job. I said, well, I have a job now. So I stayed. I went with him to the board meeting where I took minutes of the meeting, and he was impressed, and they processed my letter. So that's how I started.
Okay, let's learn something. You got there, you weren't ready for a job, but you got the job. But the job was not what you studied.
At
And
all.
you were humble enough to, like he said, he wants a PA, and you agreed to do the PA thing. So not even thinking, it's not my field at all. Some of the people we have now say, no, I can't do PA job now. Which one be PA, you know? So for you, it was like, okay, let me even take the offer, not knowing. Did you consider the pay then? Did you talk about salary?
No, I wasn't looking at the pay then. For me, I just wanted to, be out of the house. I'm not somebody who likes to just lazy around, just, sit and not doing anything. I'm not that kind of a person. And I also didn't look at the pay because I know I am somebody who, right from time, I like hustling. I don't put my eggs in one basket. I don't. So I was not looking at the pay. I was just looking at the opportunities.
You see, that's
and so far,
so
there were
good.
a lot of opportunities.
So from the PA, you now grew up. How did you now?
Yes, I now started learning editing. From editing, there was movie star. There was this department they call movie star where we produce content that we're going to use for then I wanted to replicate what looked like DSTV that time, so would provide content. So I started working as an editor too, and then one day I think somebody asked, would you want to go to the newsroom? I said, I don't mind. The person came to me and like, you have the face,
the voice.
You have the voice. Why not move to the newsroom? And I said, okay. I took the offer and I went to newsroom. I started working with my boss then, Mr. Ohiomo.
Okay.
So I was understudying him, or rather working with him, producing him, script writing, and I was just learning under him. As at that time, I had not gone for any formal training.
Okay.
So I was just there working as a producer, sourcing news and all of that. So one day he was preparing to go on air and he told me, Chioma, get ready. Tomorrow you're coming up on air. And I'm like,
what?
He said, no excuses. No excuses. That's what he said. I'm like, God, what will I do? I'm someone who is reserved. I am shy. Like most people who know me growing up know that you hardly even hear me talk. You had even when we're having a conversation, you need to tell me to speak out loud. That's how bad it was.
Really?
So I said to myself, should I take this leap of faith or stay back and say I can't do it? So I had to make a decision then and there. I said, okay. So then I was not married.
But did it ever cross your mind when you were producing him that I would love to do this someday? No. Finding yourself in that environment, a lot of ladies, people have beautiful ladies there.
Yes, we do.
So it didn't even cross your mind
at all.
Wonderful.
At all. It didn't. Because, at the back of my mind, I didn't study mass comm. I didn't have any background of journalism at all. Nothing. So it didn't cross my mind. At least not that time. For me, it was just okay.
Administrative part.
Yes. For me then. So I started getting ready. I told I took my iPad. I gave it to my brother. I'm like, hold it. You're going to be my cameraman. So I picked up some scripts, took it home,
started learning.
And then I started rehearsing.
In front of the camera?
In front of my iPad camera.
Oh.
I know. My iPad.
So you just record?
I recorded myself. I was not so confident with it, but then he had told me, just get ready.
Get ready.
But one thing that kept me going was we're going to present together, and it was a program.
Okay.
So it was not going to be just me.
Just
so
you,
I'm
okay.
like, okay. So I remember the first day I went on air, I addressed him.
Did you sleep that night? The butterflies, I can imagine.
My goodness.
All through the night.
All through the night, I was tossing around my bed and thinking to myself, what are you going to do? Because, talking to the camera is like facing the whole world.
The whole world, yes.
You are standing just before a camera, but the then at the back of your mind, you know that it's a TV and a live program, and anybody who is watching AIT would see you. I'm like, God, I hope I don't make mistakes. A lot of things kept running through my mind. I'm like, But then I made a decision to go with it. So after I recorded myself, I watched it for some few minutes. I didn't want to dwell on my imperfection. I let it go, and then I got ready. And the day we went on air, I've been watching him, but at least I had the composure. But then being the first day, trying it out, I was shaking, my voice was shaking within me. So I remember after the program, Madam Tosin called me. She was like, you did great. You just need to continue and improve, work on yourself. And I also remember Mr. Gwenga Rulewa tuned in, and he was like, you don't have a mother tongue, so that's a good one.
That's an accent.
Don't worry about the pride. You're going to get over it. And that gave me courage to continue. And after then, as you keep going, you keep experiencing that once in a while. But after a while, I became so confident. I became so...
You wanted to say something about your boss when both of you were on air. You wanted to address him as...
Yes, when you're on air, you are like
your colleagues.
There's no boss on air.
No, you just mentioned his name.
I remember trying to address him, and I said, yes, sir.
It's one of those things. With time, you now got used to it.
I got used to it, yes. So when we're on air, we are colleagues and normal colleague. But of course, off air, he's your boss. You go back to your sir. So it's been interesting. So I've been there for over 15 years.
Wow,
that's been a very interesting journey. I love journalism, and I'm happy I went into it. It's the kind of job that also gives you time to run your family, depends on how you want to schedule your programs, and you still have time to take care of your home, take care of your business.
But you were not married when you joined them?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, so it was after a year or 2 or 3?
Yeah, I think 2-3 years later I got married.
So how are you able to juggle marriage and broadcasting? Because most people will say most of us don't actually, what's the word now? I don't want to use... Most of us don't stay long being married. That's what some people say. That you see most broadcasters, you are even they don't stay long in their husband's house because of the kind of job that they do, stay out late. So for you, is it true? You've been in marriage now for how long?
Over 7 years.
And it's going on well.
Perfectly.
So how do you juggle your home and the job?
Well, first of all, I thank God for the kind of man I married.
Okay.
I met him on the job, so he understands the job.
He's a journalist too.
Well,
he was
still in that line.
Okay, communications now.
Yes. So he understands the job, and he understands the woman he got married to. It, like I said, it's all about understanding each other. If I ended up with somebody who has no idea what journalism is all about, or doesn't care, or tells you after we get married, you need to leave that job, then it will be difficult. But my husband from day one has been supportive. He understands the job. And when I mean supportive, he was really and still supportive. Like most times, there were times when I would be on the roster to take news at 12 midnight. He takes me there.
Wow.
Waits for me and back. Even my last baby that clocked 1 few months ago, when I was pregnant, while I was pregnant, from around 7 months, till my due date, he would go to work, come back, take me to work, wait for me to take the news, and bring me back.
Chief Okolie, I won't tell that name. What do you call him?
That's personal.
That's personal. Okay.
So, my colleagues will be wondering, Choma, your husband brings you to work every day. He'll finish from me. So take me, of course, it's timing. Then I usually take the evening news, and he would wait for me. And after 9 o'clock, we'll come back together.
Back home together. That's a lot of support and understanding.
Yeah.
What else does a woman need to do to keep the home front?
Most importantly, you have to be committed to the relationship. That's why most people would say, people in the media people in acting and all of that they don't keep their marriage. I think it's a personal thing. It's a personal thing to say you don't want to stay married or you want to stay married. I mean, for some people, there are circumstances that happens that you don't have control over. But for other people like me, I have made up my mind. I want to be committed to my relationship, to my marriage. So I do everything possible to ensure that I don't, engage in anything that would cause problem in my marriage.
So what if he cheats?
Well, when
I know he won't, but it's just what if.
Yes,
we're talking about what will keep it. Someone will say, if he cheats, I'm going to leave that home. I'm going to leave the marriage. I'm going to, the way we do.
Yeah.
So for you, is it a jailbreaker?
Well, it is a jailbreaker because I believe that both parties should respect each other. We have talked about it, and that's why most times I say, okay, it's important to ensure that you are matured before going into marriage. And there's this thing about saying, okay, I've seen it all. There's nothing really new outside. Most young girls will tell you this, there's nothing there for streets. So if you have, come to terms with that, tell yourself and know it that actually nothing there for streets, then you'll be able to stay committed to your partner. Nobody prays for a broken marriage. Nobody prays that their partner cheats. But, we try to talk to each other about it all the time to ensure, okay,
am I doing it right? Am I on the right track?
Let's not allow anyone come in between us.
Okay.
For anyone who feels they cannot take it, well, it's up to them. I don't know how I'm going to react if it happens, but I pray it never happens. I can't tell you, this is how I'm going to react. I've never seen it happen.
You stay, Jerry. You stay there. You're going nowhere. It's a face, it will pass. Your husband is your husband. Those ones just come. They just come taste and they go. But what is that one thing that will want to make you change your mind about marriage or marrying your spouse?
Well, for me, except the person makes up his mind that he no longer wants to be in marriage. But if it's anything that it's workable,
we can always forgive.
We can always work towards. As long as we have both, made up our mind. I call it making up your mind, because you have to be sure. If you go out to buy clothes, go to a boutique, you have choices.
Exactly.
But within you'd make up your mind this is what I want. I don't have money to pay for everything, but I want to go home with it. So if you have made up your mind that this is the person you want to settle for. I didn't marry early. I married at the age of 34, 35. So at that point, I was sure I was not making a mistake. I was fully ready for whatever it is, and I'm ready to stick by my partner. So now another major thing I want to emphasize on is, why most people usually doubt the relationship faces of people who are in the media. When you're, as a presenter, you're kind of exposed to a lot of people as a reporter, but if you see it as a playground, then you would play along. But if you see it as job, do your job and get out. Nobody is giving you any target to say you have to meet this target of 5 million. So there's no pressure. You don't need to put yourself under any pressure.
Yeah, people people assume, oh, she's pretty, and 1,000,001 people are watching you, so they believe that you have such admirers out there.
They are. That's the truth. Is a lot of people, and to be honest with you, they don't admire you because you're the most prettiest girl. Their wife is probably prettier than you. But because you're on their faces, because you're always on their faces, they'll
just imagine.
They'll just, I want to, have this person's contact. I want to talk to her. You get a lot of that.
Such. But now it depends on how you want to manage it.
How you want to handle it.
And handle it as
exactly. So it all depends on you. And then how you even carry yourself. There's a way you look, talk, dress that attracts the wrong people. If you carry yourself with dignity, carry yourself with, anybody who knows will know that no, I don't think this person is somebody who I want.
And even if they come and they try and wrong number.
Wrong number, exactly. So when they go out, anybody that wants, she's either a married woman or no, she's not that kind of a person.
All right. So from there we now move to the cake. How did you, as busy as this job is, as busy as the home front is to manage, how did you now delve into the business of cake making?
Well, so like I said, I am a hustler.
A multitasker. As women, we are multitaskers.
Yes, I grew up with a mother who hardly rests. So I know I took that from my mom. She's a businesswoman. So I don't like staying idle, like I said. You hardly catch me idle. I remember buying a wristwatch and somebody saw it and liked it.
I sell it.
And the person said, where did you buy it? I said, I sell it.
I sell it. That's what I do too. I sell it. I mean, they sell them.
I want.
Okay.
And I went to the shop where I bought it, got the wristwatch for the person. That's how I started selling.
Those little profit on it. It keeps you going. You don't have to depend on anybody.
I carry a bag of wristwatch to here, I think. When it was my son's first birthday, I remember calling a baker. He charged me. There's this thing about me that when you give me price of something, I'm like, are you sure I can't make this thing myself? Why should I pay this much for it?
We business conscious women are like that. I can do it now.
I can't do this thing now. Why is she charging me this much? I usually, put myself in that position. I'm like, the position of I can't do it. I can't, So, but then I allowed her to do the cake. I sat back and asked myself, if I have 2, 3, 4 kids, is this how much I'll be spending on birthdays, every year, or my birthday, my husband, my kids? I said, no, I have to learn this so that I can be making birthday cakes for myself and my children. So that's how it started. I had to pause at some point. In 2020, I had a major accident.
On the job.
On the job. In fact, on both jobs, because the wedding was my colleague's wedding. When they rushed me out, we went to National Hospital. We're shouting emergency, emergency. The nurses were just looking. They were like, no space, no bed space. My vision was blurred, so I wasn't really
You're not able to reach your husband then?
No, at that time, they've been able to reach him. He was on his way. So they now had to make a U-turn. The woman now mentioned that they should go to Alliance. Alliance Hospital. So he was now communicating with them. They now went to Alliance. That was where, it was tough. It was really tough. One would think that, after that whole thing,
you'll be able to
the process of recovery. It took me over 2 years plus to recover from that incident. I didn't even know I could still birth a child. I didn't know I could still walk well. I didn't know I could be active again. It took a toll. It took a toll on me. Like, I went through pain. I've gone through childbirth. I know the pain is nothing compared
to the
kind of pain, like bone, nerves. My hand was the nerves. You know this saying where they would someone would say, "Don't get on my nerves." I understood what it meant when somebody says, "Don't get sleepless nights." I didn't get a good sleep for almost 8 months because my position then was just to sit like this. I couldn't lie to my left.
Someone will clean you up.
This leg was shattered. This hand, so it couldn't lie this way. Couldn't. So I had to sit up like this every day for over 8 months. Imagine having to not shower for over 4.
Someone will clean you up.
You just use
take you. They just want to see you. Okay, our eyes are open.
I had to, use my bum to climb the stairs. But, I give God the glory that I'm standing here today, that I can still be active again, that if I don't tell you, you won't even know.
You won't know.
Most times when I show people the pictures, they will look at me again like, when I went back to the hospital, I'm like, it's something I want to be doing once in a while. Go to, emergency room to encourage people. I remember on one occasion, I went into one of the hospital beds. I saw one man. He also had a fractured legs, and he was so down, feeling so downcasted and bad. So I went to him. I'm like, just cheer up, you'll be fine.
Like, how was this one saying? Don't understand.
Exactly, because I was in his position. It's like it can only be good.
So the role of your husband in all of this?
He was supportive, like I said. A lot of people came to me. I'm like, your husband is such a good man. He would stay with me from morning, stop going to work, morning to night, praying, watching, hoping. Because it was not easy. Imagine 2 siblings, me and my brother.
Your brother.
I don't even want to talk about the financial strain on him. My brother had over 9 surgeries in Cedar Crest. Each of the surgeries cost over 2-point-something million for each time you go. When it has to do with both legs and all of that.
Trust God that we're thankful that this is you. You don't tell anybody. I remember when you came to my office and I asked, I said, when you were working, I said, what happened? I said, hey, this life. That's why when someone does not call, you don't get angry
at all.
When someone doesn't check on you, you don't get, because you really don't know the battles.
You don't know the battles people.
They're all fighting privately and like that, except if they now open up to tell you that this is what I'm going through. You thank God, and this is you now, all glammed up. Everything is It can only be God.
It can only be God.
It can only. I'm having another baby again. Another boy. So you can imagine that process. One would have said, no, I'm done with childbearing. You know what?
I remember jokingly telling God, while I was praying, crying to God, I'm like, God, see, I that was how I was talking. I said, no matter what I do on this earth, I'm not going to hellfire. I'll serve my hellfire. That was the extent of pain I went through. I said, God, even if I offend you, I am not going to hellfire.
That's deep thought.
I have served my own hellfire, if there is any. We went through a lot of things. There was practically no painkiller that I didn't take. God is just faithful.
He is. In all of these, there is a song in Yoruba that says, Ayokweyo, there's always a place of thanksgiving. There is always, no matter what you go through, there's always, no matter how slim it is, there's a place of thanksgiving. I say, Eshe Ayokweyo. That means there's a place for me to say thank God. That's what has happened. In all of it, if you look at the pictures, you want to, someone say there's no course you can take God to.
There's not.
There is no course. So the only thing I just say, okay, Father, I thank you.
Father,
because some people did not even go through half. Is it even if there's anything less than half of
when you stay in the hospital, even for 1 or 2 days, you're like shout, yes.
No matter how comfortable the hospital
who are losing
is.
people, losing fathers, losing children, I kind of now saw life in another different way.
Yeah, it makes life.
You'll be in the hospital, you now see people shouting, "Oh, somebody has died." The next day, you're hearing around. So, if you go through it and come out, I mean, there were a lot of my ribs cracked, my shoulder went off the socket, a broken leg. I lost the baby, it was a lot.
That one alone, to even evacuate is a lot.
It was a lot, but God saw me through.
This is you, now back on the news. And baking the cake like as if nothing happened.
Like nothing happened. I remember my husband telling me, don't worry. They say that business, you still do it. And I'm doing it and I'm enjoying it.
Your brother now is healing too.
He's healing, yes, he is.
Let me be okay.
So, if you go through all of that, and I don't see anything that anybody will do to me right now that I will take to heart. Because God has given me a second, in fact, a third chance. I didn't mention that it was actually the second accident. I had accident when I was in school that 3 people died inside the bus instantly. I got up from the accident scene and I was looking around for my body because I felt like the person standing up is a ghost. It was horrible. People's intestine was littered the road. I got up. I remember looking around. God, I hope I'm not a ghost and my body is amongst these people. What I did was I listened to gospel music. Like all through my recovery, stage, what I was playing gospel, I'll just keep it by my side. So it helped my mind. It helped me connect with God. And then you just see yourself, enjoying you just be in the spirit. So it helps. I remember thinking to myself, will I be able to wear shoe again? But yes, I do now. I wear shoes now. I remember thinking to myself, will I ever recover again? How will I be walking? What will happen in future? Will I ever be able to give birth, carry pregnancy? All those thoughts. I thought about them, but I've seen myself go through it and recovered
and out. Well,
if I don't tell you, you would not know. Thank God
that we're here sitting down together and we can talk about it, so that 1 or 2 people can actually learn that it's good to have faith and trust God.
Trust God.
Okay, so what's next for Chioma now? Are we expecting another? You should rest to Chioma 4 boys, no 3 boys. Don't Don't tell me you want a girl.
I am indifferent. I'm indifferent, that's why I said there's nothing in this life that will make me, start worrying or thinking that God has not blessed me. Or if I don't have a girl, I'm not complete. No, I am complete. Because it would have just ended in me not even having a child. The first accident. It would have ended that way. But God kept me then, gave me 2 boys. The devil came, struck. I recovered, gave you another boy.
For you to know that we're there.
I'm blessed.
Yes, you are.
So I'm indifferent. I'm fine.
But you've been blessed now. So that the thought comes once in a while. Telling me that we have girls. We are human.
Yeah, we are human.
It comes like my husband says, I'm not disturbing you. I'm okay. I said,
we are human, But then, then you also think about yourself and say, there are people who are looking for just one.
And they don't have.
Just one. IVL, surrogate, everything has failed. So if you're blessed to have 1, 2, or more, then you should
be lucky. Count yourself, yes, be thankful. That's the word. Be thankful.
Just live life.
That's the word. So thank you very much. Any other thing you want to talk about? We've talked about style. Okay, maybe your style briefly. Chioma dresses very well.
Chioma used to dress very well.
Used to, wow. So your style, is it designers or you mix it?
No, I mix. I'm not somebody who
designer
so
freak like that. I
freak
from her.
Yes. Once I see what I like, I go for it. I go for it. I'm not so freaked about. So it has to be designer. It has to be. Who are the people? Who are the designers? You call, what do they call them? Zara. Who is Zara? Who is Zara to me? So if I see a good, that Auntie Zara made a good pair of shoes, yes, I'll patronize her.
And if I see a girl on the streets
Abba,
and she sews well,
Abba made a good pair of. So it all depends on the craft. All depends on what you have to give. So I'm not.
There's some of these expensive designs you put on, they don't even see it.
You don't
but
even see
the ones that you just pick out and say, this thing is nice on you, it's fine.
They are all designers. But by the time you see your own, where did you get this? And where? Some of them are so disappointed. Okay, your glasses. How much?
I just wait on this.
But if I see a glasses for 100,000 that looks as good as, and I cannot find anyone that is as good as that for the 10,000, 15,000, then I'll go for it. But if I see it, I'm not buying it because it's expensive. I have to buy it because it suits me. So, it goes beyond your clothes. You have to take care of yourself, take care of your skin, take care of be conscious of what you eat. It goes beyond that, Style is not just buying anything and wearing. You have to also
take care of the body that wants to wear it.
Inner beauty. Take care of it. That is the only body you have. So you take care of it.
Thank you for coming on Conversations with
so
Maria.
much.
We hope when we call you another time, I know you will come. So that's a good place to end it with our designers and outfits, what we wear. It doesn't have to be that expensive, but anything that will make you look good, anything that suits you, just put it on and carry yourself with a lot of, they use demure now. And steez. You see this my glasses, I just collect them, I wear just to show steez. So anything that makes you happy and makes you look good, just put a bet on it. And that's it on Conversations with Maria. Thank you so much, Chioma, for being on the show.